From the Greater Northampton Chamber of Commerce, it's the GNCC Show, a virtual annual meeting featuring our special guest, President and CEO of the Always Florence Bank, Kevin Day, the Get Give Help leader of the Northampton Survival Center, Heidi Norton-Smith, guardian angel of the Downtown Northampton Association, the DNA's own Amy Cahillane, the United One and Executive Director of the United Way of Hampshire County, John Bidwell, goat farmer and community convener extraordinaire, Russ Piotr, marketing maverick of the People's Bank, Matt Bannister, future teller and Northampton Chamber Board President, Rich Horton, and the show's host, Executive Director of the Greater Northampton Chamber of Commerce, Vince Jackson.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever virtual annual meeting of the Greater Northampton Chamber of Commerce. We're coming to you differently, but today's annual meeting is not unlike those in years past, where we reflect on the work of the Chamber and our mission to support a thriving economy and community. And we hope to have a little fun along the way. In fact, we're going to take a look back at 2019, and we ushered in 2020 with a bold outlook and many new opportunities. In fact, we intended to host today's meeting on April 2nd, but by then, as you may recall, we were already in a state of emergency. COVID-19 was and still is a devastating reality. The pandemic, though, has provoked us to be nimble and proactive like never before. It has required us to be creative and innovative like never before. And it has inspired us to support each other like never before. So that will be an important part of today's story as well. Thank you for joining us today as we take you on a journey with three themes in mind. 1, the power of connections. 2, the impact of collaborations. And 3, the strength of our community. These are the 3 C's that define the work of the Chamber, and it's going to take all 3 to defeat the deadly blow of COVID-19. So let's get to it. But first, this message from Florence Bank. And we'll be back with our special guest, Kevin Day, President of Florence Bank. We'll be back in a moment.
Many of us have spent a lot more time at home. We've passed the time binge watching reruns of TV shows and wondering if that mayhem guy from Allstate visited our home. And who hasn't belted out a song in the shower and wondered, could I get the golden buzzer from Simon Cowell on America's Got Talent?
Hi, my name is Kevin Day, President of Florence Bank. Support the Chamber is what we do, helping businesses like you always, always, always. With you, for you, always. Thriving business and communities, life is better for you and me. Together we will make it through. We believe in all of you always, always, always. With you, for you, always, 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 always. With you, for you, always. How's that, Simon?
We're here with Kevin Day, President of Florence Bank. Simon says that was great. How'd you do that? Wow. Now, that's one thing we do not have in common. I cannot sing. That jingle is going to be in my head all afternoon.
Well, that's the idea.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Kevin, I know that we, while we don't have singing in common, we have some things in common. What do you think are some ways that the Chamber of Commerce and Florence Bank are similar?
Yeah, I think the main area that is we have in common is simply that we both are interested in our communities thriving. In 1873, Florence Bank was founded on the concept of neighbor helping neighbor, and part of that is the business community. We do everything we can to support the business community. Obviously, the Chamber is interested in the business community, and as the businesses thrive, the individuals thrive, and the whole communities are better off. I think that's probably the main thing we have in common.
I think you're absolutely correct. We always say at the Chamber, when the economy thrives, the community thrives, and vice versa. When the community thrives, the economy thrives.
Right.
So as we're in the middle of this pandemic, what would you say are some things that may have been positive that you've seen to come during this precarious time?
Well, in a pandemic, I think it's hard to find positives on occasion. You know, there's a lot of negative things that have happened, and it's been a struggle for a lot of people. But I think in those struggles, one of the big positives I've seen is how the community comes together and rallies together. I think one of the programs, the revitalization program that you're obviously very familiar with, yes, was just one of the examples of how people, individuals and businesses really stepped up to help their friends and neighbors and businesses in our downtowns. And the other area that I think showed a great rally for those in need are the donations that we participated with many other folks in providing food to help through local agencies. And I think that's probably one of the biggest positives, is how the community does rally together to help those that are in need at these types of times.
Yes, we absolutely see it often, but especially during this time, there's been just an outpouring of support from neighbors and friends, and we hear it all the time from business owner to business owner about how they're there for each other. So thank you for acknowledging that.
Right.
During this pandemic, we know that folks have been pivoting and keeping quite busy, but also have found some ways to, find new hobbies. Have you explored any new hobbies?
Well, it's interesting you asked that. During this time of COVID, a lot of us have been locked up in our houses and different things. And I've taken up a new hobby called observational colorant dehumidification.
You can say all that. It sounds like you're watching paint dry.
Well, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound very exciting, but hey, don't knock it till you try it.
Well, you have to give me a lesson on the techniques behind it. It sounds intense.
It passes the time.
Well, thank you so much, Kevin. We'll look for whatever Simon says and the CD to come out. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for being a partner of the Chamber as an organization who understands that a healthy chamber means a healthy community. So thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you, Vince. And I have one more thing before we go. I got a Twitter feed on my Instagram account that had a TikTok Zoom call, and I'm not exactly sure what it was saying, but I think what I found was that Simon Cowell was spotted driving up 91 recently, and we know what that might mean. And the rumor has it that Governor Baker found out that he was coming, and of course he's coming from a different state.
Yeah.
So rumor has it is he's locked in a cell in quarantine in the Berkshires somewhere. But I'm really excited that in 14 days, I might get a visit.
You might get that call. Well, we hope you do, and again, thank you so much. Good luck to you.
Pleasure being here.
All right.
Hi, my name is Al Williams, and I'm the director of Northampton Open Media, and we're happy to be sponsors of this year's Greater Northampton Chamber of Commerce annual meeting. We are the community media center for the city of Northampton, Massachusetts. We provide opportunities for people to become fluent in media, including equipment, classes, and training. If you want information about us, you can go to northamptonopenmedia.org, where you'll find links to our YouTube channels, our Patreon channel, our Twitch channel, and other information about getting in touch with us. Thank you, and stay safe.
Reporting from the Applied Mortgage Joke Desk, it's Lindsay and Todd. Let's see if Todd has any more zinger jokes today.
How did the loan officer approve the loan for a horse farm?
I have no idea.
He called it a stable investment.
Oh my God.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, there you have it. Hope you're enjoying the show. The Chamber of Commerce Nonprofit Resource Roundtable with Kristen Ellico and Jess Thompson was such a huge source of support to Allied Adventures at the beginning of the pandemic.
The Chamber of Commerce and really the full business community and all of the community were so there for us. They came out with signs, they gave us donations of whether it was money or supplies. Many people pulled together to feed our staff at a time when you really couldn't go out and get food. There was just so much passion shown about how important Cooley is to this community and how much they appreciated our local heroes. So thank you to everybody.
Like many of you, my day-to-day changed. What hasn't changed is the love and the dedication I see the Chamber have for its community, especially its business community. The programming they did, their revitalization grants, have really made an impact on many of my clients and prospective clients who are trying their hardest to keep their doors open. Hang in there, stay together. We're going to get through this together and right the ship. Thanks.
It's all about community. I love our community and the support that I get from the community. And the Chamber is the glue that keeps all of my heroes and keeps that support together.
And my business hero these days is Vince Jackson at the Greater Northampton Chamber of Commerce. As a new business, I often just find myself struggling with basic things about running a business. And when I don't know what to do, I call Vince or I send him an email and he always responds really quickly. He's great at making connections. He's the ultimate connector. So I feel like Vince is great as a role model for businesses and leading us in the direction of prioritizing diversity, equity, inclusion in our work and being responsive to what's going on in the country and in the world around racial equity. And he's really good about creating business community, about bringing us all together as the rest of the amazing staff at the Greater Northampton Chamber of Commerce does. So they're all my heroes, but for today, I'm going to say that my business hero is Vince. So thank you, Vince, for all that you do for all of us in the local business community.
And also grateful to Look Park and Northampton Community Rowing for supporting our return to programs, through allowing us to run programs there, and Northampton Bicycle, the best neighbors in Northampton, who have been collecting our mail and packages while we work remotely. Thank you.
In society and in my communities specifically, for example, the dance community where they're putting together virtual dances. Connecticut River Conservancy, which is putting together virtual cleanups, and the food bank, which we're doing the virtual Blue Bike for Food. So I could go on. But I think those are, they've pivoted and they've found ways to make things work and keep on doing what we're doing and invent new ways to do it that hopefully will carry on.
That's a really easy question for me. No question. It is the staff, all of the staff at Cooley, from the nurses in the ICU to the housekeepers to the information technology people who made sure we had all the computers we needed to make this work, to the people at the front desk. I have never seen a team not only be so incredible individually, keep their cool during really tough times, show compassion to patients even through a mask, but also the way they work together was really, really heartwarming and really important. So they are absolutely my heroes. And I can never end any message without a reminder, please, please, please wear your mask. We've been doing well, but we need to keep doing better. Thank you.
And it's Amy Kaling, Executive Director of the Downtown Northampton Association. She not only was incredible in providing all of these resources for businesses on how to apply for government loans, how to apply for various grants. She not only did all of that and did it very well, she also included the non-downtown Northampton businesses, Florence businesses, and essentially just allowing us to collaborate and uniting us all, which is really such a great contribution to having a strong economy and a strong community. So thanks, Amy.
The folks showing up for work every day, the parents trying to double back as teachers in daycare, and helping everyone out through this process.
Hi, I'm Mike Tucker, president of Greenfield Cooperative Bank. GCB knows the value of the Chamber in supporting small business. That's why we were first to contribute to their community fund. We're thrilled to see how much they've raised and excited to sponsor their annual meeting.
Welcome back. A year ago, I started with the Chamber, and we were in the middle of celebrating our centennial anniversary, and we also were launching our new strategic plan. And one of the pillars of that plan was to partner with other organizations to define what our community means when it comes to the well-being and the health of our community. Another pillar was to make sure that there was strong access and opportunity for everyone. So in doing so, we decided to look across the community and join up with others, because we can't go it alone, and we are joined today by 3 other nonprofits in the area. The Northampton Survival Center, Heidi Norton Smith, the Downtown Northampton Association, Amy Kaelin, and the United Way of Hampshire County, John Bidwell. So today, what we're going to hear are some examples of how we've come together as nonprofits for the well-being of our community. And I'd like to start first with Heidi Norton Smith. Welcome, Heidi. And as I think back to a year ago, one of the things that we did was you kicked off for us our brand new network series, which was a new twist on the Arrive at 5 that's become so popular in our community. Can you tell us what that has meant to the Northampton Survival Center?
That was such a great event, Vince. I was so glad to be the inaugural representative of an organization involved with the network. That was actually the culmination of the Survival Center's 40th anniversary celebration that took place, and that also involves the downtown business community. It was a downtown business window stroll where over 20 businesses decorated their windows in very creative, wonderful, fun ways with a carrot emblem of some sort to honor the Survival Center and our logo. A number of restaurants had a carrot-inspired menu item or drink. I'll never forget Fitzwilly's carrot Bellini, that was so delicious, and the carrot sorbet at Harold's. And a number of other businesses that didn't have a storefront participated in a toiletry drive. And that, all of it benefited the Survival Center. The toiletry drive then came together with the Chamber's network event that happened in September at the Survival Center. And almost 100 businesses 100 business people came and participated in a hands-on working event where people took those toiletry donations and rolled up their sleeves and organized them for us by shampoo or by toothpaste, etc. And people took tours, they networked with each other, people got to know our staff, which was really wonderful, got to see the center and how it's set up. And as a result of that, we had inquiries about being on our board, we had people who signed up for volunteer shifts, a lot of great connections were made, and we were really grateful to be part of that. And it just ties into my thinking of what's so important about the Chamber's new, really inclusive mission that inspired me to become involved. That there's a real recognition that the business community and the nonprofit community work hand in hand, and we're mutually supportive of one another toward making a more safe and healthy and inclusive community. It's not a one-directional kind of relationship, and the Chamber, in supporting and kind of connecting this very vibrant business community and now the nonprofit community as well, feels to me like a great organization to be a part of. So I joined the board and have been really happy to be involved.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate all the energy and enthusiasm that you bring to the Chamber and to our community. And through the network event, thank you for giving access to so many people who can now be involved in supporting our community in that way. You're providing a very essential service, and we thank you for that, and we all need our carrots.
Yes.
So thank you
carrots.
So much for all that you do.
My pleasure.
Let me turn next to Amy Kaelin of the Downtown Northampton Association. Amy knows firsthand what it means when we say when our economy thrives, our community thrives, because we're a community of small businesses, and they have shown incredible creativity and resilience through this pandemic. So Amy, I'd like to turn to you and ask you, what are some examples of things that you've seen in the community, and what kinds of projects has the Downtown Northampton Association done to support the community?
So for better or worse, I would say that this pandemic has really pushed businesses to just show very visibly how creative and entrepreneurial they are. And the one thing that really came to mind very early on for us was the need to reach out and communicate with all of each other and to really partner and work together. And when we were talking to the businesses early on, in particular talking to restaurants, they kept saying to me, even though their business was shut or very limited, that they just wanted to feed people. They wanted to find a way to reach out and make sure that people were being fed, because that's at the heart of what they do. And at the same time, our community was reaching out to us and saying, we just want to help. We want to find a way to help our small businesses. We want to make sure that our frontline workers are being fed and cared for. And so we noticed that a woman in Amherst, Lisa Oram, had started just amongst her friends circle a fundraising effort to raise money to purchase meals from local restaurants to feed the frontline workers. And we reached out to her, partnered with her, and we brought on board over 21 restaurants spread out through Northampton, Florence, Leeds, Amherst, and Holyoke, who came together and prepared meals for the frontline workers at Cooley Dickinson Hospital and the frontline workers at Care One Nursing Facility, which is right down the road from Cooley Dickinson. And this effort was supported primarily or entirely really through donations from our community. So donations from small business owners who are themselves struggling, donations from our friends and our neighbors, just real grassroots effort of a community coming together. And the Chamber was so instrumental in helping us get the word out and bring those entities together. I think, like Heidi was saying, it was a real demonstration of the magic that can happen and the entrepreneurial spirit that can happen when that community of individuals, small businesses, and nonprofits come together.
Thank you so much. And tell us a little bit about Northampton.live and what it has meant through this pandemic.
Of course. So as I was saying, communication has been so important, not just between our small business community, but communication out to the general public. It seems like every week there's some new guidance from the state and some new changes downtown, which mean that some businesses are open or closed or doing curbside pickup or takeout, and we have really leaned on Northampton.live to be that public communicating arm. So they stepped up to promote Feed the Frontlines. They made it possible for downtown businesses that didn't have gift card capabilities to offer gift cards, and they have just done an amazing job at making sure that they're up to date on who is offering what service and how businesses downtown are open and operating during this time. Don't think we could have done it without them. Another important leg in this partnership has been the city's involvement with Northampton.live. So the city was the entity that got Northampton.live off the ground, partnering with Rhyme Digital, and they secured funding through this casino mitigation grant fund. And the DNA and the Chamber partnered to provide a pathway for those funds to come from the city through our organization to Rhyme Digital, and now we're managing the work that Rhyme does on behalf of all of our community businesses and nonprofits.
Well, thank you so much, Amy. You've been on the front line since this pandemic in a major way, and one business owner said it best: you're deserving of a sainthood appointment. So thank you for all that you've done, and I can now understand firsthand what it means when we say it's in our DNA to help each other. So thank you so much. Next, I'd like to turn to John Bidwell of the United Way of Hampshire County. John and I had already started to think about ways that the Chamber and United Way could partner together before the pandemic. But when the pandemic hit, one of the first things that the Chamber did was to conduct a survey. And in that survey, business owners told us that to get through this pandemic, they would need grants, not loans, but grants. And we thought, what could we do? And that's when we reached out to the United Way and we came together to create the Community Revitalization Fund. And the Chamber is a nonprofit, but not a tax-deductible charitable nonprofit. So we needed a fiscal sponsor, and United Way of Hampshire County stepped up. So John, thank you so much. Can you tell us what this initiative has meant to the United Way?
Yeah, thanks, Vince. This has been a wonderful initiative. I mean, not just for United Way, but obviously for the community, and it's been great pairing with the Chamber. I think it's helpful to remember that the Chamber and the United Way are really sister organizations. We both started about 100 years ago, really from the same people that came together. And that in and of itself would be enough of a reason for us to support this initiative. But the truth of the matter is it goes beyond that, because the businesses in downtown are truly vital to our community. A lot of times in the area we hear about the fact that the largest companies are healthcare organizations and education. And indeed that's true. That's about 40% of the employment in the area. But when you look at the businesses that are below that, when you look at the retail, and you look at the entertainment, and you look at the stores, and you look at the professionals, that actually constitutes the next 40% all combined. The companies and the businesses and the organizations that make up downtown are just as vital as those larger educational institutions and healthcare institutions. So it really makes sense for us to be there. It also gets a little more personal because these organizations are ones that have supported United Way for decades. I mean, they have been there for the community. They've been there for not just the United Way, but all organizations in the area. And one of the things that makes the fabric of a community work is when we're there for one another. They've been there for us, they've been there for the community. It's our turn to be there for them. Anything that we can do to help them is paramount to who we are as a community. And I think it's one of the reasons people like to come here and live here. They see that spirit, it's exercised, and they appreciate that. It offers a lot of hope. For me also, on a very personal basis, I was a small business owner for 12 years. I know what it's like. I know the triumphs and the challenges of having a business in and around Northampton. And I applaud anyone who undertakes that endeavor and at the same time gives back to the community. So this has been a real joy for us as an organization as well as for me. So just a quick update on the fund. It is a beautiful example of dozens and dozens of people coming together to give back to the community, really inspired in great part by 6 individuals who came forward with a $25,000 matching grant, which went very, very well. It really is a phenomenal testimony to this community and what it can do when it comes together.
Thank you so much. Thanks again to Heidi Norton-Smith, Northampton Survivor Center, Amy Kalin, the Downtown Northampton Association, and John Bidwell of the United Way of Hampshire County. I look forward to continued collaborations so that we can have a positive collective impact on our community. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design.
You are the only you. You are the best you.
It's not what the world holds for you. It's what you bring to it.
Good energy is contagious. Share it with someone.
Those little things you do when no one is watching.
Give us strength for those big things when everyone is watching.
The decisions that you make have impact. They inspire, they ignite. Spark someone's inner light today.
We see you, Northampton. Keep up the good work.
When life catches you off guard, you need simple ways to stay calm.
It's a boy.
When life takes you in new directions, you need simple ways to open doors. When life slows you down, you need simple ways to keep things humming. When life gets real, you need a bank that keeps things real simple. At People's Bank, we keep banking simple because real life is complicated enough. People's Bank. Real simple banking.
Good afternoon. I'm Rich Horton, President of the Northampton Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. A thriving economy leads to a thriving community. A thriving community leads to a thriving economy. When those words were forged over a year ago as part of our strategic plan, they resonated strongly with all of us. Certainly today, they continue to ring true as our community and our economy work together to get back on track during these difficult times. We wanted to share a few key examples of initiatives the Chamber is working on to keep our economy and community thriving. We'll start with the economy. We stimulated the economy and supported our local businesses through the Northampton Gift Card Program and the Hampshire County Regional Tourism Council. Our gift card program has sold 8,600 cards this year with a total value of $365,000. We've supported 75 local businesses that participated in the program. As we go forward, we want to optimize the gift card program by creating additional access points for card purchases, expanding the base of participating gift card merchants, and activate promotions that build upon the loyalty and support of our local businesses. The Hampshire County Regional Tourism Council drove $196 million in tourism spending and taxes into our area. We contributed $16 million in state and local taxes, and supported 1,276 jobs. We welcomed over 100,000 visitors to the Visitor Center at the Northampton Chamber, and we relaunched the website visithampshirecounty.com and supported a new digital strategy that grew Facebook and Instagram followers. We also promoted the new Valley Flyer rail service. Moving forward, we want to strengthen our tourism partnerships with other area chambers and other entities and drive stronger economic impact through reactivated Tourism Advisory Council. The Chamber served as an administrator of a casino mitigation grant that was secured by the City of Northampton and launched Northampton.live. We enrolled over 275 local businesses and organizations. We've also supported our community. We leveraged partnerships with community leaders and collaborations with other organizations to have a collective impact on the well-being of our community. Our Connect campaign sponsored 13 educational programs and delivered 31 hours of personal and professional development training, all free and available to everyone. We amplified our 100th anniversary with a meaningful campaign, 100 Days of Connections, that yielded over 4,000 points of engagement across our social channels. We welcomed 25 new members to the Chamber and 4 new partners and achieved 2 partner upgrades over the past year. As we go forward, we want to continue to leverage technology to forge opportunities for community connections and elevate the Chamber's value proposition to attract new investors and retain existing ones. COVID-19 has impacted the Chamber as it has every other business in the community. We offered 26 virtual programs and events and delivered over 32 hours of programming to keep the community informed of the rapidly changing pandemic situation. The Chamber conducted an economic impact survey and as a result initiated the Community Revitalization Fund to raise $250,000 to assist small businesses in their recovery efforts. Moving forward, we want to continue to seize opportunities to keep our community informed of local, state, and federal economic initiatives and public health guidelines. The Chamber released a letter of solidarity in support of the Black Lives Matter movement, which also outlined our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. As we go forward, we want to unleash the newly formed Community Engagement Committee to engage with a larger group of citizens for greater impact and broader perspectives that reflect our entire community. I want you to know that the Chamber is strong and solvent, and we have made the tough but necessary calls to remain financially healthy during these uncertain times. We have a tremendous team in place at the Chamber and an amazing group of volunteers who have given their time, talent, and treasure to help ensure the Chamber and our community's success. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I'd like to thank you for all you do to support the Chamber and our amazing community.
The GNCC show presents the top 10 reasons how you know you're from Northampton.
Number 10, you know that if you haven't injured yourself sledding on Hospital Hill, then you aren't really a local.
Number 9, you and your barista have the same tattoo, maybe more than one.
Number 8, when you spell, you think there's no A in Calvin.
Top 10 reasons you know you're from Northampton. Number 7, you know it's not West Mass. It's just not.
Number 6, you wonder if your children have enough professional role models in their life when they ask if men can be doctors or lawyers too.
And you get to an intersection and you know it's a rotary. not a roundabout, even though they're popping up everywhere.
Top 10 reasons you know you're from Northampton. Number 4, you know the difference between hamp and NoHo.
Number 3, when you get to a 4-way intersection and you see the walk sign, you know you walk diagonally.
Number 2, you know that on New Year's Eve, the ball goes up, not down.
And the number 1 reason you know you're from Northampton, your friends wonder why it's called Paradise City until they come visit, and then they don't ever leave.
When you add up all the reasons to live and work in the Valley, you get 499 small businesses, 39 four-legged police officers, 44 high school marching bands, 3,487 nonprofits, loving families of all kinds, a countless amount of creators, makers, and innovators, and thousands of voices standing for what's right. That's why there's only one place Florence will always call home.
Thank you again for joining us today. I also want to thank our major sponsors, Florence Bank, the Daily Hampshire Gazette, Northampton Open Media, and People's Bank. Also thanks to all the people involved with the Chamber, starting with our Board of Directors, who works tirelessly to keep the Chamber healthy and strong. And I'd like to also thank everyone involved on our various standing committees, starting first with the Finance Committee, what I call the mind of the Chamber. And secondly, our Economic Development Committee, the body of the Chamber. And thirdly, our Membership and Ambassador Committee, the spirit of the Chamber. And last but not least, our newly formed Community Engagement Committee, which will soon have a hipper, cooler, more inviting name because it is the conscience of the Chamber. I want to also thank those who serve on our many special committees, and I am incredibly grateful for an amazingly creative and committed staff. And finally, I'd like to thank the Planning Committee for today's annual meeting, led by Russ Piotr. My heartfelt thanks go to Matt Bannister, Tara Brewster, Monica Curran, Lindsay Barron-Labonte, Megan McCormick, Heidi Norton-Smith, Al Williams, and Jessica Thompson. And special thanks to Dave Newland of Northampton Open Media, who wore many hats, from set designer to production manager to control booth operator, and all around nice guy. Thank you all for making this a success.